Hey guys, welcome back to 9 to 5 Gamers. You guys asked for my wife's top 10 games of all time, so I brought my wife. Her name is Madanid, and she is here with me to talk about her top 10. I have a feeling I know a few things that are on her top 10. I know for sure a few things, but as she was doing her list, she was ranking on the website, the Pub Meeple website, and I was so shocked at some of them as I passed by. I was like, no. So let's see how she does it. She's gonna rank them in order. So we're gonna start with your 10, not your 1.
Oh, I know.
Okay, cool.
I actually had honorable mentions, though.
Oh, that's right. You do
Yes.
have honorable mentions. So if you want to go through those, take us through those, and I'll just kind of react to her top 10.
So these have been hidden. I have them over here on my side, so he doesn't see them. It's a big stack, though. So let's see what's our first honorable mention.
So these are like your 11, 12.
This
How many honorable mentions do you have?
2.
2 honorable
I think
mentions?
one of them just fell.
Oh, okay. So only 2. All right, so you said this is your...
I think this one's my 12. But it is Hidden Leaders.
I do like that.
I really do like this. I remember when we first got this. I think it was, what was it originally from? You didn't buy this at a store.
I got it on Kickstarter.
It was a Kickstarter game.
And it just came in.
And I feel like nobody had ever heard of this game.
No,
but
yeah.
he had brought this into the office, and everybody was addicted to it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'm really critical about board games. So
yes, we have very different tastes in games. That's very important to know.
Yeah, so I'm very, very picky, but I actually really ended up liking this one, surprisingly. The board was super small, so I remember thinking, man, this board is tiny. I don't know if I'm going to actually like this. But the premise of the game, the fact that it's hidden, nobody really knows who's what, but you can kind of tell.
You figure it out like halfway through. Yeah,
I really like that aspect of the game. But I feel like this is a really fun one.
It's a tug of war between 2 factions, but then there's 2 other factions who are kind of tugging through. So it's kind of a cool game, man. I was surprised how much I actually liked it.
Yeah.
You know that this is actually one of my most played games.
No, I didn't know that.
Like I think next to Chameleon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we played this a lot. Like,
this is a really good game. I really like it. I liked how, like you said, it was a tug of war. I like how each card has something different and how everybody has like a different name to it too, like a title. So it was just a really fun game.
It is.
I really enjoyed it.
I liked it. Yeah,
so
it's a really good game.
Number 12.
Number 12. Hidden Leaders.
Right. So this one is another honorable mention. I would guess you could say 11.
But
this one...
so you like this one better than Hidden Leaders?
I did.
Okay.
So this one kind of brought me into the world of board games outside of like the classics.
Really?
Can you kind of guess what this one is?
I have no idea. Well, maybe.
Do you?
Is it Catan?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe because that was one of the first games we played.
Not at all. This one was Boss Monster Next Level.
I thought that was gonna be like your number 1.
No.
Like, I'm so shocked right now. How did that end up as an honorable mention? That was okay. So this is the one that was beating out games that I'm like, how in the world?
Yeah. Well, I really like this one. I love the idea of it being like you're creating like some sort of dungeon for heroes to go through, and your goal is that you are the boss. You're the final boss, and you're trying to kill heroes going in through your dungeon. And I really, really like the premise of this game. I like how each of the bosses have different abilities.
Yeah.
They have and the heroes have different abilities too, and each room has a different thing. You can upgrade your rooms, and it's just really, really cool. And I remember this was I wanted to play this all the time, and this one was definitely one of my first that got me into board gaming.
The artwork too, man. The little 8-bit artwork, and it just looks like an old Nintendo game, like an old Super Nintendo game. I guess the way we always really described it, trying to play with people, was like, pretend most of the time you're Mario running through Bowser's dungeon to try to get to Bowser to beat him. It's the complete reverse. You are Bowser creating a dungeon for Mario to go through. And so like these
it
little
actually
guys
says
go
that on
through.
the back.
Does
it says become a video game style villain.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's actually really cool.
This game is great, man. I think that a lot of people don't appreciate this game. It should be appreciated more, but it's old by now. So
yeah,
I think if you can find a copy of this, you should buy it. Boss Monster 1, Boss Monster 2. Do not buy 3.
Yeah,
I did not like. I don't know what happened with
3.
3, but I didn't.
I actually
enjoy
don't
3 at all.
remember that one.
That was the
very
one that
much.
was Rise of the Mini Bosses, and it had like these little gold coins. I think the reason you don't remember it that much is because I think we played it like maybe once or twice,
That
and you're
could
like,
be the reason.
nah, they messed it up.
But I really do remember buying the first one, loving it, and then buying the second one, which was this one, which I think perfected the first game, which is why I like this one.
Yeah.
So.
And Overboss, which is another.
Overboss was a good one.
It's
but
like
it
set in the
didn't
same
make
world.
my.
Yeah, that's a good one, but that one's really, really good
Mm-hmm.
too. So you should try that one out.
I like this one. So, yeah.
Yes, I like
All
Boss Monster.
So now to the actual top 10. So here is my number 10. Okay.
You could tell we've played this a lot
It's-
just by looking at the box. I just look at
It
that.
has a lot of wear and tear.
This one has character.
Yeah, you could say that.
All right, number 10.
So my number 10, I really like this.
What do we got?
Okay, it is Search for Planet
Ooh.
X. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
So I really like this one because you're searching for Planet X. You're given a few clues to go off of to start off, and it just takes you on a journey on how to find Planet X, and you get to find different clues. You can kind of speculate. I don't know. This is just a really fun game for me.
It's a logic deduction puzzle, and you
Yeah.
like a lot of like the clue,
I do.
like trying to figure out who did it with what weapon and what room. And this one gives you like that Clue vibe, but better.
Yes.
I like this a lot better than Clue. I don't know
I
if
mean,
it'd
you're
be
not
better
trying to
than Clue.
find a murderer, but you're
you're just trying to find a planet. I just got
really cool.
this one, which I was just telling her about. That it's basically very, very similar to Planet X, except that it's just numbers. But the game Turing Machine is very, very similar. I think they're about the same price. This one's more outer space themed. This one's just kind of like numbers and math. There's not really math involved in it. It's all logic and reason. But I thought it was cool because this one has a little check mark to make sure that you have the box cover on right.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That
and then
is
if you
kinda
flip it the wrong way, it has an X there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's pretty cool. So, but anyways, Search for Planet X
Planet
is an
X.
amazing game.
It's a really cool one.
That's
So
a
this
perfect
was
choice.
number 10 for me.
I love that. Yeah, that's a good one. Good choice.
Thanks.
Search
All right,
for Planet X.
number 9. So number 9, you might be upset by it.
I don't think so.
You know? Oh, okay. So number 9 was Gloomhaven.
That it's in number 9?
Yeah, that is number
I
9.
can see that.
Oh, okay.
We don't play it as much.
No, but this one specifically is Jaws of the Lion. We got this one because we heard it was a little easier to play through because I guess it gives you instructions. So either way, we started this with 2 other friends of ours. It was super fun. We really liked it. But we really liked it when we had the app version to kind of play out all the damage counters, all of that. What else? Like if we got hurt, something like that. It really helped out. But then they took out the app, which I don't think it was made by the developers, but whoever did, they took it out, and it just made it a little harder to play through with that.
Bring it back.
Yeah, but it was actually super fun to play with our friends. And we made game nights out of it, and it was just super memorable to play. I specifically, who was I? I was Hatchet. I really loved the playthrough with this character.
Yeah.
I felt like they were OP. They were.
Yeah.
They
For
had
sure.
a lot of range. They had a lot of attack power as well.
You could attack twice with
Yeah.
like the same card.
Yes.
And I'm over here as the little boomer guy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do anything. I should be nuking people, and
Yeah.
it's like I felt so weak.
I really, really liked it. It gave me D&D vibes, although I've never played D&D, but I feel like this is very similar to what it would be like, at least the experience.
Yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed this game. I
good.
didn't get to finish it yet. Hopefully I will, though.
We gotta finish it,
So
sure.
it's on the journey. So, yeah.
I mean, this one's at 9, man.
No, I don't think you're going to be very happy with
what's
my
coming
other
up.
ones.
Sounds like that's gonna be crazy.
Okay, so that was number 9, right?
Yep,
So
this is number 8.
8. Number 8. Love Letter.
Oh, Love Letter. I love Love Letter.
I love Love
I
Letter.
love Love Letter.
I love Love
I love
Letter.
Love Letter.
But I like this game. It's super simple, but it's a favorite party game. I feel like a lot of people end up really wanting to play this. They're like, oh, let's do something quick and easy and fun still. So this one became one of those because I don't know.
I like it because I feel like every game ends exactly the same way with people saying, nah, run it back. Nah, run it back. Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
You want to just play a quick game of it, but then you just
Yes.
sit there for another hour, 2 hours, just keep on playing because people just love playing this game, man.
I also like the little pouch it comes in. It's super cute.
Yeah.
It's like medieval kind of. So I like that.
Not to mention that I think in the deck there's only like 21 or 22 cards.
Yeah, there's
It's
not
like
a lot.
the amount of cards and the amount of gameplay you can get out of that many cards. This classifies one of those things that I say, it's like, bro, I buy like games that are like $100, but it's always the $10 games.
It really is.
That just hit for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
So
Love
that one
letter.
was
Number
number
eight.
8.
I love
Number
that letter.
7. Okay, so number 7 is another $10 game.
Yeah, Taco
This
Cat.
one is
I
Taco
knew it!
Cat cheese pizza. You knew it was gonna be in
I
there.
knew it was going to be in there. I was like, yo, she loves Taco Cat.
I really do.
It's
It's a fun party game. I just I love the sequence order. I also like how if you have like a special card come up, which my favorite is the narwhal, you have to do the horn. You have to go like this, and you have to go, and you have to slam your hand down. So I just feel like I'm narwhaling because I'm like,
yeah, exactly. I showed that in my top 10 party
Did
games.
you?
I actually even recorded myself throwing my whole body like onto the table because I'm like, bro, I don't know why
gosh.
narwhal translated to us like.
Yeah, I don't know why,
dodging on the
but
table.
it worked.
Yeah.
I always do get confused with the groundhog and the
Yeah.
gorilla because they both have to do with hitting or pounding on something.
Yeah, watch
and
out for the mic though.
oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. Rip headphone users. Anyway, keep going.
Oh my gosh. Well, either way, you have to go like this with the groundhog or like this. So sometimes if it was
Mix
a
'em
gorilla,
up.
I'd be like, oh wait.
Yeah.
So I like that, but it's really fun. I like the quickness of it with the hand. So
And then
yeah.
when Gracie plays the game, it's always the brown goat, man. For
Oh,
some reason.
yeah,
She's
she always thinks it's,
she always thinks the brown goat is like the gorilla, so she'll like beat her in the chest and go. And she's like, that stupid brown goat. There's only like one brown
There's
goat
only
in the
one
whole
brown
deck.
goat. Nobody else has a different color. It's so funny.
It's a good
So
game, I love
it's
it.
that was
That is
number
7, I think, yeah.
Okay. Number 6, which is another party game. I don't know how much this one was though. So this one is Night Werewolf. So
For sure.
I really like this one. It is another social deduction game. You're right. It's a
social deduction.
Yeah, and you have there's 2 people that play as a werewolf. You have to try to figure out who it is. And then there's townspeople who have different abilities, or they don't have different abilities. They're probably normal people. But either way, there's different types of characters that can be played as, and you have to decide who's who. I think my favorite one, though, is Tanner.
Tanner's so cool,
Tanner
man.
is suicidal. He hates his job. And he's just like, okay, I am the werewolf. Kill me. I want to die, is basically. So
Yeah.
it
The
makes
way
me laugh.
Tanner works is that Tanner, when you get the role of Tanner, if you die, you win the game.
You win,
Like you're on
yes.
nobody's team.
Yeah, you're
So
on
you
your
have
own
to try to
team.
get yourself killed by being suspicious enough that people suspect you of being the werewolf, but not
Yeah.
of being the Tanner.
And there's different roles, like the seer. You can see who another person is, another player. I think the troublemaker, you can kind of switch people's roles around. Who else? Let me see. The villager, you don't do nothing. You just sit there. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm nobody. I'm
But that's always the
literally
most
here.
suspicious role. 'cause
It
it's like, oh,
is.
I'm just a villager.
I'm
It's
just-
like,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
you're not. You're just.
And then there's the werewolf, which you kill people.
Yeah.
So it's cool. I really like this one.
Yeah.
So that one was number 6. Was it? Wait,
Yeah.
number 7?
Mhm.
I don't even know where we are right now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
always get mixed up. So that's
Yeah.
your 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That was your 6, and now you're on
so
5.
this is number 5. Okay, so now we're getting into the bigger games. This one was outraged.
Ultra.
So this one
I'll
has.
put it on this side
Oh, okay.
if you want to see it.
Yeah. So this one has it's kind of, I guess, a story-based game. It has a little quest, and you play as different characters, and each character has different abilities as well. But this one, you have kind of it's a citadel or like a town.
Yeah.
And you have to protect your tower, and you got to protect the villages around your tower. And if your villages get in trouble, you have to go over there and try to help them. But then you also have to watch the story. Is the story progressing? What's happening in the story? So if you focus on one thing for too long, you forget another thing, and then you can end up losing. So there's a lot of like mechanics that you have to pay attention to, and still progress the story, but also take care of all of your things. You're basically running a town, or a city. You're trying to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah, I call it cops in medieval times. So it's like, you know, bad boy. Like you literally just walk around trying to solve issues. It's like two people are arguing. All right, let me go roll some dice to see if I can stop this argument.
Exactly.
It's good mechanically, and it's made by Antoine Bauza, which he makes a lot of really good games, at least from what I've seen.
I really like the artwork as well. Yeah. It's so pretty.
Vincent Dutrait, man.
Is that the guy who made this?
So the guy who does the artwork for this.
Oh, I see it right here, Vincent Dutrait.
He did the artwork for the Tenpenny Parks, which is down there.
Oh, okay.
But he just did the artwork for a reprint of Quest for El Dorado.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm like, I want that so bad.
Yeah.
I will sell my copy of Quest for El Dorado so quick. The minute I get that copy, I'm hunting that down.
Yeah. So this was number 5.
Yep,
Super
number
pretty.
5.
I like it.
Love it.
Love
that is
it.
a great game.
Number 4. Okay. This one. Okay, it's a little heavy. It's a recent addition.
I know which one this one is. Don't drop it.
Okay.
It's already been damaged.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so Artisans of Splendid Vale.
I'll put it over here.
Is number, what was it? 4. Was number 4. This one is such a pretty game, first of all. This is another one that our friend group, our 2 people that we play with, have really kind of joined in on. We really, really, really like this game. We love the exploration part. We love the story. We love the different points of view. I'm specifically Harinya, which is this girl right here, and she is small. She is the tiniest one. She is small. And the reason I picked her though was not because she was small, but because she came with a dog, and I really wanted to have a dog in the game.
Spoiler alert! You got a dog in the game.
It's on the cover, so you can kind of tell that she gets a dog. But I really, really, really like this game. The creators did such a good job on this.
Yeah, Nikki Valens is she designed a lot of really cool games. One of them is a game that I really want to get called Mansions of Madness, but it's almost identical to Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings game, but it's like a more of like a haunted horror theme. Yeah. But supposedly she's done a ton of great stuff. I just haven't really gotten a chance to play.
I really, really do like this game. So they just, I don't know, I think they knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah.
So,
and then we figured out too in our last gameplay that we figured out how the mechanics work with the little dog, and we were so upset.
Yes, because I thought it was an either or situation, not an and situation. So I was just attacking with my character Harinya, and then occasionally I would attack with my dog. Right. I didn't know that I could attack with a Harinya and my dog.
Yeah, you basically can be both on your turn. Like each one gets their own actions. At least that's what we read in the rulebook.
Yes.
But if we're wrong about that, put it in the comments if you're playing the game.
But at least that's what I understood, because then I could have been attacking people left and right. But that didn't happen.
Man. You would have been OP with that.
Yeah.
So.
I really, really like my character though.
And there's a lot of really cool things.
I always tend to pick the characters that can do the most damage. Yeah. And I only pick them based on their looks or what they can do. And I always end up picking a good character because of their looks. Yeah. So, you know,
and
if you're trying to pick,
like your character's really good at making potions and different things like that. You got a slingshot, and one of the things I like too is like we finally played we were playing another round, and we were talking about like the injury deck.
Oh yeah.
And so like the injury deck, like when you get injured, you get like scars, and so like there's like a little sticker sheet on one of them, and it like gives you a permanent scar for the rest of the game, and it's like a sticker that you put on your character's log. It's super cool, man. Yeah. I love the way this game operates. One of our friends
got injured, and she has a scar along her nose. Yeah. And then I ended up looking at one of my own that if I were to get a scar, I haven't actually gotten damaged yet. I've been pretty good at evading.
Yeah, you didn't get injured.
But my injury, if I do get one, is that I get a scar on my eye and I go blind in my eye. So I thought that was actually really cool that you can add that to your character sheet, and it seemed very realistic in that sense. So, very cool.
And that was funny, too, because I remember that one of the characters is blind, but then it wasn't your character. And I was like, why do you get a scar on your eye if you're blind? I mean, I guess that
was for me.
Yeah, but it was the wrong character. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it was really cool. I really enjoyed the realism in that.
Yeah, good job for the team that produced that game. You guys did really, really good.
So number 3 is The Adventures of Robin Hood.
Woo!
So this
Man,
is
this one's high up
another
there.
story game. As you can tell, I really, really like these RPG style games.
I'm gonna open it while you talk
sure.
about it because this is incredible.
So I really like Robin Hood. I mean, if you're already familiar with the story of Robin Hood, it kind of follows that, where he goes and he is a vigilante, steals from the rich to give to the poor. We haven't gotten that far into the story, but so far it's basically like, okay, if you decided to do this, flip to this page and this happens. So it was that kind of idea. But I have him playing with me as well. I'm Robin Hood. And who is your Little John? I think.
John.
So he's Little John, and then we kind of help each other. I like the gameplay and and how you move. Like little characters, they have like little I don't know what they're called. They're like long pieces of wood, and then that's how you can kind of tell how
really
far
yeah.
your persons can go. Do you have that in there?
Yeah, so they have like a little trail.
This is not specifically Robin Hood. I think this is Little John.
This is a different character, yeah.
Or a different
No, because Little John is blue. This is Little John.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so yeah, so the characters have these little wooden pieces, and that's how far you can go. So
you like track them across. You connect them.
Right. So you're on your map, and then you just kind of go like this, and then that's how far you can go. And then this is not Little John, but say this is where you would end up. So you were here, and then you're like, okay, how far can I move? You would put these two pieces here, and then you'd be like, okay, so this is where I end up. So I thought that mechanic was
like
actually
a little
pretty
ruler.
cool.
It's super cool. Yeah.
So it was really cool. I like the little meeple people.
You have to cheat in this game, by the way, because you don't know how many times we've been like, wow, I'm literally like a centimeter away.
So I'll just be like,
there, we got there. All right,
we're good.
Because it's so precise.
Yeah, it's really cool. But I really like the choosing of the what's the word?
Like the choices in the game.
No. When you pick the what's it called?
From the bag?
When you pick the little discs and it's a turn-based.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I really like the turn-based decisions in this game.
It's a bag builder.
Yeah, so you have little discs of different colors. Some of the bad guys, your ally, Robin Hood, and they are the colors of the meeples. So you'll put them all in there, and what will happen is that to decide the next person's turn, you take it, go into the bag, you take it out, and if it's green, I'm like, okay, Robin Hood. If it's red, I'm like, oh no, now I know there's going to be a guard change, there's going to be people probably moving around, and if I take out a purple one, it's the guy he hates both Robin Hood and Little John, and he's always looking for us. He's like, I have to get to these guys, so he moves. So I like that turn-based, and it's just kind of like you never know what's going to happen, and then you have to change your strategy depending on what comes out of the bag. So
and there's always surprises and always things that happen, and I think one of the things I loved about the game is two things. Number one, this is the rule book, and it's not even a rule book. Like you only read like a little bit of it, and then it gives some clarifications about the movement because that could be a bit fiddly, but it's really not that big of a deal. But yeah, like it's the rule book is super short, and then after that, this is the whole game is this. It is the board, which puts together like a big puzzle piece, a bag full of stuff, which you just dump out, and then a book, and you're good to go. Like, this game sets up so lightning quick.
I really do like this.
I love that about it.
And this is actually where we left off, the little ribbons. So you can kind of see where we're at, and we're on chapter 4. And we get to kind of move on and see what we get from there. But it's really, really good.
It's a fun game. We need to finish
It's
this game.
fun. Actually, going back to Artisans of Splendid, they have books as well, which I didn't get to go into. Can I go back to that?
I mean, sure, if you want to.
Yeah. Because since we opened it up, I figured that'd be cool to do that.
Oh, for the Artisans?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've actually already gone through that because I did a review on the channel. So if you want to learn more about Artisans, it's I have a review on my channel that you guys can watch that's really, really good. So.
It's so good.
Yeah, because they do the same thing. They have a book, and that book is super cool, man.
Yeah.
But I show some actual like close-ups in that one, so yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so that's number 3. And
Robin Hood.
now we're going on to number 4. Oh, this one's heavier now. It's a little bit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Blood on the Clock Tower.
The monster.
We just got this game, but already I've only played it once. But I feel like the playability is so high. and so good.
I just did a review for this game like this past weekend. So if you guys don't know, every weekend I do weekend reviews. So Saturdays and Sundays I will post a video about a review about a game that I've just played and got through. And I just did this one. So if you want to know more about the game there, you can learn about it there. But tell us how your experience was with it.
Oh, okay. So at first I was a little sketchy, as I am with most games. When I first played them, I'm like, okay, fine. Because I'm not as a board game aficionado as my husband is. But I do like playing games. But anyway, so I was like, okay, this was at a party for a friend. So we were like, okay, let's play it. Originally, he was explaining it. He's like, okay, let's give out your rolls. You look at your roll. And I look at my roll and I was like, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, because you got the minion.
I got a minion.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm not a very although people I guess after this game will say differently, I'm not a very good liar.
Right.
I'm not very good at being like
Deceptive.
somebody I'm not. Yeah. So I worked really hard for this role.
And you did good too.
Thank you. So I was like, oh my gosh. So already in my mind I'm like creating a plan. I'm like, okay, how am I going to deceive people? I don't even know. I give my roll back, and then we all have our eyes closed, and he goes around and give us what we're supposed to do, and give us a little bit of information, and we start again. So immediately, like, okay, gosh. And Jeremy had said that he had forgotten to give me my roll, which he was supposed to do in the first round.
Yeah, so I was supposed to give 3 bluffs to the demon, but I somehow missed that. So in the middle of the round, being as inconspicuous as I could, I had to give the bluffs to the demon, which then he would share with you. But I ended up just kind of
He did it in the second round.
I had to do it in the second round.
So in the first round, I was like, oh man, I'm giving a character sheet of all the possible people that are playing the game. So I'm like, oh, should I pick one? I don't know who I should pick. I'm just going, instead I say, okay, what are your roles? I'm starting to ask people. I was very straight up. They're like, well, why should I tell you? And I'm like, well, that's true. I don't want to tell you either. And they're like, well, why don't you want to tell us? And I'm like, well,
they were
suspicious. They were suspicious about me from the beginning, and then I kind of led them away from that. But I was like, well, the thing is, I have a role that I don't want to share, because if I share it, I'm afraid that I'll get targeted. And they're like, that's suspicious. I'm like, no, it's honest. It's true. I can't do that. And they're like, well, okay. And since somebody was like, you know what? I'll tell you my role if I tell you, if you tell me your role, I'll tell you my role. And so I was like, okay, fine. So they told me their role, and I was like, okay. And they're like, what's yours? I'm like, I'm not telling. They're like, that's messed up. And I'm like, the thing is, I don't know if I could trust you. I don't know if you're telling the truth. They're like, but I just literally told you who I am. I'm like, I could give you information for that, but I can't tell you like what my role is. Yeah. So
you can't give specifics, and you can do like 3 for 3. I've seen people do that, where they're like, here are 3 possible roles that I am, and then you give me 3 that you possibly are. Yeah. And so with that, you can check other players when other players say, here are my 3 possible roles. Okay, well, they said the same one. Yeah. There's like little strategies and things you can do.
Right. So then in the second, this is the first round. I'm trying to get information. Nobody wants to talk to me. Second round, he gives me my role, which happened to be Slayer. Right. And
that was
so
her bluff.
My bluff, yes. Because who was my character again?
You were the Scarlet Woman.
I was the Scarlet Woman. Yeah. So I had the information that I knew that our friend was the imp. Yeah. So part of the Scarlet Woman's role is that if you kill off the imp early enough, you become the demon. So that was my goal. I was trying to become the demon. So I was like, okay. So I knew that he was the demon. So once I got my role, I went to a couple of my other friends. I'm like, hey, come over here. I have information. And they're like, oh, what's the information? I'm like, I know who the demon is. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah.
Which she actually did.
Yes. So I was like, Jeremy gave me the information during the night, so I know who this person is. And so then they're like, okay, who is it? And I'm like, I'll tell you if you tell me who you are. And the and the thing is that I have a really suspicious laugh as well. Whenever I laugh,
Oh,
people
get suspicious of you, man.
yes, because my laugh, I guess it's a unique laugh. People say it's a witch cackle, so whenever I laugh,
Sound evil.
I sound
You
evil,
sound
so I'm
evil when you're
automatically
laughing.
evil. But I also laugh a lot when I'm nervous, so I'm like trying to deceive people. So I'm like,
So she came up with like a beautiful plan too to like use the Slayer ability,
right,
which
yes.
caused the heated debate. But
Right.
we got through it. But
Yes.
this plan was genius, and it actually worked because it deceived almost everybody except one person who figured out
Yes.
what you were trying to do.
Exactly.
And,
So
it was good.
I, as my bluff as a Slayer, I tried to shoot the imp, and it didn't work because obviously I'm not the Slayer. But the role of the Slayer is that you can kill the imp, but if it doesn't work, that means they're not the imp. So because I wasn't the actual Slayer, it didn't work. So everybody's like, oh, he's not the demon then.
So then he's not the demon. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but if she's bluffing as the Slayer,
one
then her
person
ability
said-
won't work at
Everybody
all.
else was, literally dismissed her and was like, yeah, no.
And they're
anyway,
checking
and
with
they
me.
moved
They're
on.
like, Jeremy, is this true? And I was like, yeah, that's correct. She's right about that. And everybody just
And
moved
Jeremy,
past
as the
it.
storyteller, he can't
Yeah, I can't
like
disclose information.
he can't tell swing either side, so he's just like neutral. He's like, yeah. So it was
so
really
cool, man.
Yeah.
And you guys almost had it, but then they ended up killing
yeah,
James.
it was such a fun game. I really like it. We're gonna play it again this week with our friends,
Ooh,
so we get
that's
another
right.
playthrough and see maybe a little better of how it actually
Yeah.
turns out.
I gotta prepare myself
But
for that one.
I'm really excited for play 2. So here's my last one. Here is
That was your number 2?
that was my number 2.
Woo, that's high.
Yeah.
That's really and we just got this game too,
Yeah.
so that's really high.
So this is my number 1.
I think she ranked her games out of like 87 games. I knew it. It's so good though. It's a great game.
This is my favorite game of all time. I don't give high ratings to any games except this one. This one is a 10 out of 10 for
10
me.
out of 10, yeah.
All of my other games, I think I've given a few 9s to some games. I've given like very few 9s, very few 8s. Most of the games I play are 7s or
7
6s.
or below.
I'm
yeah.
very, very critical. But
Specifically, my favorite games
so
are 6s and below.
yeah, but
Well,
this
we
one
never heard
is my 10 out of 10, my number 1,
this game.
will never fail me. My ride or die. This is this is my favorite game of all time. Lord of the Rings. I actually still have not finished this. I have not played the expansions. I really do want to though.
We're like
It's-
halfway through that.
yeah, I'm actually really want to finish this game, but
too, yep.
we just, as you can tell, have so many games to play through, so it's hard to do that. But this is really, really
Who were
fun.
you playing as when we last played
Ooh,
off?
I
Were you
was
Graver
no. Who's that?
or Aragorn? Were you a girl?
I was a girl. Yeah.
So
I was the
think
one
you
with the
were
hood.
Graver,
I think
yeah.
that's her name. Yeah. I don't remember the names,
I was
but
Gimli.
I really, really like this game. I love the story. I love the exploration.
yeah.
I'm a very RPG kind of person. I love, which currently playing Hogwarts Legacy. I'm
yeah.
loving it, exploring. I'm barely halfway through, and then I'm just like, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god.
You're just doing side quests.
I'm doing so many side quests, and I'm trying to level up like my Alohomora, which I finally did. But anyway, I love exploring. This game gives so much opportunity for exploration because you never know what you can find. It could be literally nothing. It's just like maybe a rock that you overturned, and then you're like, ugh, I wasted my turn on a rock. Or you can end up finding something really cool that you can add to maybe a weapon or something to your person, your character.
Or you get like a title.
Yes, and it's so cool, those explorations. I really do like the battle sequences as well. I don't feel like they're too draggy, which is an issue with other games
has
that
good
I've had.
pacing. Yeah.
It's so good. It's such good pacing. I feel like whoever created this, they did such a good job in the creation of it, making sure everything was balanced. It's just such a good game.
It is.
I love it.
I think the biggest downfalls of the game are that it's app driven, which a lot of people don't like.
If you're a purist, you probably might not
Yeah.
like it. But I like that was another thing I actually did like of the game, is being able to see the old school feel of a board game, but also having the modern age of a tablet and having it being a storyteller for us. So I actually really do enjoy this game.
Yeah,
It's
the
really
app-driven
fun.
nature of it is cool. Some people don't like that. That the Mansions of Madness is app-driven as well, and it has like
okay.
puzzles that you solve on the app. But yeah, if you don't like app-driven games, the other thing that I see is the setup. That's the part I don't want to do. But she said she was more than willing to do because she really loves it.
About the setup. I'm
just
love
like,
it.
you set it up, I'll play it because
because
man,
it has
the
like
setup
little
is so...
hexagons, and then you just kind of set up how big they are, and you're like, okay, if it's a level 4, it's humongous. If it's a level 1, it's like a tiny little bit, and you just set it up, and then as you're exploring more things pop up, and you get to expand the map.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
But that was the part that I was like, I took one step, and I explored. Took one step, and then 15 minutes later, after placing all of these tiles, I'm like, oh, is that it? Okay, now we've got this gigantic map, and I was like, all I did was take a step.
My RPG heart is
and
full.
You can't do the side quests either. Like, there's side quests that you can go after.
I'll still do them.
She'll go after them, but the thing is, like, that threat meter is going up.
I'll risk it.
You always got to risk it for the biscuit. But yeah, so like for me, it's like I don't feel like I ever have the time to explore. So she'll go explore side quests, and I'm just sitting here trying to kill.
He's just trying to kill.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to progress because I don't want us to lose. And
it's
then
a
she's
good
just
combination. Like he allows me to explore, and he just kills everybody.
And then she's just sniffing the roses. She's like, I sniffed the roses, and I gained 1 health. I'm like, help me! I'm dying.
I love it.
Yeah,
so much.
It's fun, man. It is a really, really fun game.
It is.
I can't say that it's a bad game at all.
Yeah.
I think that, and it has a ton of expansions that we haven't even
Yes. Oh, and this is why it's mine.
Yeah, we gotta.
I love it.
Man. Oh, that's your number 1. That's it.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this. It was really cool to be able to talk about the games I love.
Exactly.
Now,
and there
what
was
do
like
you disagree
87.
with?
Out of your picks?
Yeah.
No, I really like all of your picks.
Oh, for real?
I don't think One Night Ultimate Werewolf would make my top. I think it's a great game, but I just don't see it as one of my top 10 games. I really like Robin Hood. It could be a bit fiddly, but it's good. Planet X is phenomenal. I love Love Letter. I think out of all your games, I really like all of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them make it. Obviously, we have very different top 10s.
Yeah.
My top 10s are games you will like usually never want to play. They're up on the top of the shelf. But yeah, I think a lot of those games.
I like Root.
But you wouldn't play Ark Nova.
No, I hate that game.
Marvel Champions.
I hate that game.
Marvel United.
I hate that game.
See what I'm saying? Have you played Dune Imperium? We haven't played Dune Imperium.
I actually haven't.
That game is good.
Yeah?
I think you'll like that one because you like Lost Ruins of Arnak. Yo, Arnak didn't make your top 10. I'm so shocked.
It wasn't even in my top 15.
What? I'm so shocked. Anyways, but that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to our top 10 and, my wife's top 10. And hey, maybe she might be back for another video if you guys vote for it. But that's pretty much it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye.